There was a moment, back in 2015, when 61% of American homebuyers said they wanted an open concept layout. Walls came down across the country. Kitchens spilled into living rooms. Dining rooms disappeared into breakfast bars. Builders followed the trend. And for almost a decade, that was the new American home. But something has quietly shifted. In recent architect surveys, that same number, 61%, has dropped to around 33%, almost half. Buyers are asking for the walls back. They are asking for the rooms back. And they are asking for the small, thoughtful features that homes built 80 or 100 years ago used to include as standard. If you have walked through an older home lately and felt something you could not quite name, that feeling has a name. It is the design of a house built to be lived in, not photographed. Today I want to walk you through 10 forgotten features that are making a comeback. Features your grandmother had. Features today's builders skip to cut costs. And features that, if you are renovating or house hunting, might be the most valuable thing you add back.
Number 1. The front porch. Let's start with the one you see from the street. For most of the 20th century, the front porch was where the American home met the neighborhood. A covered space, a couple of chairs, a place to sit on a summer evening and wave at whoever walked by. Then, sometime in the last 30 years, the garage crept forward and the porch disappeared. Today, you pull up to a new build, and the first thing you see is a 3-car garage. The front door is almost hidden. The house feels like it turned its back on the street. Now picture a Sunday afternoon. It is raining. The delivery driver leaves your package on a tiny concrete pad, and it soaks through before you get home. In summer, the front door bakes in the afternoon sun until the paint fades. Nowhere to sit outside. Nowhere to greet a neighbor. Buyers are rediscovering porches because porches solve something the smartphone cannot. They give the house a face. If you are renovating, extending the roofline over your entry even 4 feet changes everything. The second feature is the mudroom, and this one might be the most requested renovation in America right now. The mudroom was once standard, a small transitional space between the outdoors and the rest of the house, a bench to sit on, hooks for coats, a tile floor that could handle water. Over the past 30 years, builders quietly deleted it to gain a few extra square feet in the great room. Picture what that cost you. A child comes home from school in the rain, tracking mud across your hallway carpet. Wet boots leave dark crescent shapes near the front door. Amazon boxes pile up on the dining table because there is no other place for them. Groceries drip on the kitchen floor. Backpacks colonize the counter. After a few winters, the flooring near the entry darkens. The walls collect smudges from coats brushing past. The house never feels quite clean because the dirt has nowhere to stop. A real mudroom fixes all of this, and you do not need to build one from scratch. A section of your garage, a wide hallway, or an oversized closet can be transformed with a bench, hooks, baskets, and a durable tile floor. Third on the list, the walk-in pantry. Somewhere along the way, kitchens got beautiful and pantries disappeared. Today's builder replaces a whole room of food storage with 3 upper cabinets and calls it a day. In real life, those cabinets cannot hold what a household actually eats. Cereal boxes lean against each other on the counter. Bulk paper towels live in the garage. Small appliances take over every inch of countertop because there is nowhere else for them to go. You open a cabinet looking for canned tomatoes and have to move 3 rows of cans to reach the back. Spices crowd around the stove because no shelf was designed for them. Slowly, your counters become permanent storage. The kitchen looks cluttered even when you have just cleaned it. And here's the part builders never mention: aerosolized cooking grease. The microscopic particles that used to hit a kitchen wall now travels across your open floor plan and settles on your sofa, your curtains, your bookshelf. After a year, everything feels a little sticky. That is what happens when a pantry disappears and a wall disappears in the same house. A walk-in pantry does not need to be big. A closet adjacent to the kitchen, 4 feet deep, floor-to-ceiling shelves, and you have solved half your kitchen problems in one weekend. Number 4, the butler's pantry. Related but different. The butler's pantry sat between the kitchen and the dining room. It was where you staged serving dishes, kept the good china, hid the mess during a dinner party. It was essentially backstage for the kitchen. Modern open kitchens eliminated it. Now the kitchen has to do everything at once: cooking, plating, serving, dish stacking, coffee, dessert, all on the same island where your guests are sitting. Picture Thanksgiving. You have 12 people in the house. Dirty pans sit on the stovetop in full view. Someone is trying to eat pumpkin pie next to a colander of drained potatoes. The person hosting has not sat down in 3 hours because there is no place to hide the work. I have talked to homeowners who stopped inviting people over after moving into their beautiful new open concept houses. Not because they did not want company, because there was nowhere to put the mess. A butler's pantry restores backstage to the home. A galley of counter space between your kitchen and dining room, with cabinets above and below, and suddenly hosting feels possible again. Number 5, the broom closet. Small feature, enormous daily impact. The broom closet was a narrow closet, maybe 2 feet wide, 7 feet tall, tucked near the kitchen. It held brooms, mops, the vacuum, cleaning supplies, everything vertical, everything organized, everything one door away. Today's homes deleted it. Your vacuum lives in the hallway coat closet, tangled with jackets and boots. Your broom leans against the wall behind the pantry door. Cleaning sprays crowd under the kitchen sink next to dishwasher pods and food storage bags. A mop bucket sits beside the toilet in the guest bathroom because there is no other place for it. Every time you clean, you gather tools from 4 different rooms. And because these tools live in spaces they were not designed for, they wear out faster. Handles bend, bristles crush, cords fray. Buyers walking through a house register this immediately, even if they cannot articulate it. They see a home that hid its essential functions in awkward places. A broom closet is one of the easiest features to add back. A narrow 18-inch cabinet or the end of a pantry does the whole job. Number 6, the linen closet. For 100 years, every hallway in America had a shallow cabinet for towels, sheets, and household supplies. Then, floor plans got tight, and the linen closet was one of the first things to go. The items that used to live there do not disappear. They migrate. Towels stack on top of the toilet tank because there is nowhere else for them. Sheets fight for space in the bedroom dresser next to your clothes. Bathroom cabinets overflow with paper goods, toiletries, and medication sharing one shelf. You search 3 rooms for a clean washcloth. Over time, your towels wrinkle from being crammed sideways. Sheets pick up the smell of whatever else is stored with them. The house never feels quite as clean as you want it to feel. A linen closet fits into the end of a hallway, the space beside a bathroom, or a deeper section of a bedroom wall. A tall built-in cabinet with adjustable shelves does the whole job. It is a small detail. Buyers notice it immediately. 7th, and this one is my favorite, the Breakfast Nook. The Breakfast Nook was a small built-in seating area with a table tucked into a corner of the kitchen near a window. It was where the day began. Coffee, newspaper, a slow morning. It was a room within a room. Today, that space became a kitchen island with tall bar stools, and there is a difference between the two that everyone feels, even if nobody names it. A bar stool is a place you perch. A nook is a place you sit. Perching is for airports. Sitting is for home. Now picture your morning. You lean on a hard stool while breakfast cools on a counter someone is trying to clean around. Grandchildren spread coloring books across a surface where dinner will be prepped in a few hours. The morning light streams through the window and lands on the sink instead of on the people you love. Weeks turn into months, and the family stops eating breakfast together. It just happens quietly. A breakfast nook can be bumped into a corner of the kitchen with a built-in bench, a round table, and 2 chairs. A small window above it. That is the whole recipe. Number 8, the vestibule. The vestibule was a small enclosed space between the front door and the main rooms of the house, 2 doors instead of 1, an interior airlock, essentially. You opened the exterior door, stepped inside, closed it behind you, and only then opened the interior door into the living space. Modern builders skip this because it costs a few $1,000s and takes 20 square feet. But look at what those 20 square feet do for you. Every time your front door opens, the outside comes rushing in. In January, a blast of cold air hits your living room every time someone enters. In August, hot, humid air pours into your air-conditioned interior. Your HVAC system runs longer and harder to compensate. Industry studies show open floor plans can consume between 5 and 20% more energy than the same square footage divided into rooms. Add a wide open entry to that, and your utility bill climbs another notch. Delivery drivers see straight into your living room from the threshold. Street noise travels into the heart of the house. A vestibule can be added with a partition wall and an interior door, a few feet inside the entrance. Half-wall sliding panel, French door, whatever fits the style of your home. 9th, transom windows. If you have ever walked through an old Victorian or a 1920s Craftsman, you have seen transom windows. They are the small horizontal windows set above interior doors. They existed for a reason. Before central air conditioning, they let airflow between rooms even when the doors were closed. They also carried natural light from one room to another. Modern builders eliminated them. Doors go floor to ceiling now, or ceilings drop to standard 8-foot heights, and the transom disappeared with them. The result: interior hallways stay dark at noon. Guest bathrooms with no window feel like caves during the day. A child's bedroom with the door closed for a nap becomes a sealed box where no light and no air can enter. You end up flipping on hallway lights in the middle of the afternoon because the space feels gloomy. Transom windows solve this for pennies. Fixed glass panels above interior door frames. Frosted for privacy in bathrooms and bedrooms. Clear over hallway doors. Suddenly, natural light travels through your house the way the original architects intended. Buyers in restored homes respond to transoms as a defining detail. It is one of those features that says, thoughtful. And number 10, the one I saved for last, the formal dining room. For most of American history, every middle-class home had a dining room, a real one. A room with a door or a wide opening, a proper table, chairs that matched, and a light fixture designed for one purpose. It was where holidays happened, birthdays, anniversaries, the Sunday meal after church. It was where children learned to sit still, where grandchildren learned to say please and thank you, where families paused once a day or once a week and looked at each other. Then open concept absorbed it. The dining room became a table floating in the great room, 3 feet from the couch, 6 feet from the television, 10 feet from a sink full of pots. Holiday meals now happen with football on in the background and a dishwasher running mid-dinner. Phones come to the table because no room asks them to stay away. And this is why buyers are quietly asking for dining rooms back. It is not about square footage. It is about ritual. A formal dining room is one of the last spaces in the American home that still tells the family, stop, sit down, be here. If you are renovating an open plan, closing part of it off with a partial wall, French doors, or a wide cased opening restores something you cannot measure in dollars. So there they are. 10 features that older homes had by default that today's builders skipped, and that buyers are quietly asking back into their homes. The front porch, the mudroom, the walk-in pantry, the butler's pantry, the broom closet, the linen closet, the breakfast nook, the vestibule, transom windows, and the formal dining room. Here is what I want you to do. Look around your own home right now and count. How many of these 10 do you actually have? Be honest. Most newer builds have 3 or 4 at best. Older homes often have 7 or 8. If you counted low, do not feel bad. It is not your fault. It is the era your house was built in. But now you know what to add back the next time you renovate. And if you are house hunting, now you know what to look for. Because the truth is this: houses built 100 years ago were not built to look good in a photograph. They were built to be lived in. And the features that made them livable then are the same features that make a house feel like home today. Which one are you adding back first? Tell me in the comments. I read every single one.